Hello, I'm Jared Willits, and welcome to My Thoughts for What They're Worth, episode number 19. This episode entitled Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Actually, it should be Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. That kind of lets you know where we're going. Well, I'll get to it all in just a minute, but first, as I always do, if you enjoy the podcast, please like it. Please share it if you feel so motivated. And what would be even better than that is subscribing to My Thoughts for What They're Worth, YouTube.com, and Spotify. This time we're going to talk about the three-ring circus known as Congress. Decorum, my friends, has left the building along with civility, politeness, decency, and respectability. That's all been gone for quite some time, it would seem. And we had a lovely example of that this past week. Three Congress women kind of going at it, hurling insults across the floor at one another. MTG started it, AOC got in the middle, and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who is the target of the first insult, threw out a world-class insult to MTG. If she just came up with that on the spur of the moment, it was fantastic, really, but inappropriate and shouldn't be in Congress and all that. There's really, no point, I don't think, in doing that. But we'll get to what their point might be in just a second. It went on for a while. Other members trying to settle things down to no avail. Eventually, after a few more insults and bad words going back and forth, it came to an end. And Congresswoman Crockett is now selling merchandise emblazoned with that world-class insult. All of this would fit nicely on a Jerry Springer show. Jerry, 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 into that kind of format. But I don't think it should be in the hallowed halls of Congress. Congress should be boring. It really should be. Do you remember the early days of C-SPAN? You turn that on, and if you had trouble falling asleep, you'd be out quicker than two shots of NyQuil or something like that. Anyway, this is not a unique event that happened this past week. It happens, seems to be all the time. More members, more interested in grandstanding, getting themselves on social media and traditional media as well, rather than getting the business of the nation being done. It seems to me that a lot of this is both sides. They got the fringe. Okay, you got your crazies on the left, you got your crazies on the right, and they seem to be getting the lion's share of the attention. That's what they want. I just wish that this would not go on anymore. I think you do too. And my suggestion would be to these particular people who wind up doing these inappropriate things in Congress, leave now, go to Fox TV, go to MSNBC, just to take the flight to where you really want to be, and you can get seen by lots of people and say what you want to say, and it'll all be fine. Leave the work of Congress to the people who really want to do it, rather than just get clicks and likes. That's what I'm thinking about that. I think you think the same thing. But I don't hold out a lot of hope for that. The job, congressman, senator, it's really a pretty good gig. If you work it right, you can do really, really, really well. So it's unlikely they'll just give it up unless they throw bags of money at them for, a cable show or something like that. So that's what's been going on in Congress, and I think it's going to go on for a while longer. Who knows? Maybe not. I hope. I cannot end or do an episode without talking about Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Here you go. We are in the middle of the election now. It's on now, and they're both on the campaign trail. Now, they're looking for people who haven't made up their mind. Okay, that's who they're looking for. They got millions or great fans, so on and so forth. So they're looking for people who haven't made up their minds. And they really need to be targeting those people. So what is going on here? I think Joe Biden is really listening to his advisors who tell him, Joe, you got to be more forceful. You got to be passionate. You got to be strong out there when you're doing your speeches. No. All he does is wind up yelling with no feeling at all. So he needs to stop listening to his advisors and just be himself and talk. Now, Donald Trump, he's clearly not listening to his advisors who are telling him, throttle it down just a little bit. You've got your fans. There are people out there who are unsure. Bring it back just a little bit, and you'll be better with these people. But he doesn't. That's just the way he is. So Joe is listening, paying too much attention to his advisors, and Donald Trump is not paying enough attention to his advisors. I think they could do well with my little advice of doing a little bit of each. Anyway, those are my thoughts. For what they're worth, I'm Jared Willits.